All right, y'all. So I saw the Terence Crawford interview on Max on Boxing, where Max was asking him a lot of good questions, and everything that he asked him was about the Spence fight. I don't even think there was a single question about his upcoming fight versus David Avedisian. I think everything that Max asked him was about the Spence fight. Asked him, was he going to still pursue the Spence fight? Is he willing to retire without the Spence fight? Does he think the Spence fight is a legacy fight that he should have? Does he, will he do everything he can to make the fight? And basically Terence Crawford's answer to all those questions were yes. Emphatically, definitively, astoundingly, however you want to say it. He definitely said he wants to fight. Definitely says that he's gonna do his part to try to make the fight happen, and he said he knows that that's a legacy fight for both guys, even though he talks about accomplishments that he's already had, and that he don't think that it's gonna just hurt his legacy if the fight doesn't happen, but he realizes that it'll enhance his legacy if the fight happens. And I'll be quite honest, when it comes to Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., both guys are quite accomplished. Terence Crawford has done more through more weight classes in terms of, winning championships. By and large, by the opinion of most people, Errol Spence Jr. has beat the bigger name fighters throughout the course of his career. But, excuse me, at the same time, I think both of these guys have a pretty solid legacy in the sport of boxing. And I think that not having the fight not happening because for each guy they're one half of a generational type of a fight, a fight that's perceived to be a once in a generation type fight, a great fight, a legacy defining fight. So I think if the fight doesn't happen, it hurts both guys. So I disagree with Terence Crawford in that regard. Does it tarnish his legacy in terms of undo the things that he hasn't done? I don't think so. But I will say that I think the fight not happening between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford hurts both guys' legacies more than losing to the other guy does, if that makes sense. I think they definitely need to make this fight. I'm just to the point that I'm not obsessed with the fight, and I'm not trying to come on here and talk about it every day and try to will the fight into happening and just totally disregard everything else going on in the sport for the sake of just giving so much attention to this fight or this potential fight. So, but when it comes to the questions that were asked, I definitely think that the fight not happening does put a stain on Terence Crawford's legacy. It does put a stain on Errol Spence Jr.'s legacy. And regardless of the who, what, when, and why it doesn't happen, I think it still hurts their legacy. And I think it hurts both guys' legacies. But that doesn't mean that they can't go on and do greater things, after not having the fight. But I don't even want to go there. I just, like I said, it doesn't mean it's the end of their careers. It doesn't mean it undo everything that they've accomplished. It just means that the fight that the fans wanted the most, and the fight that probably was the best fight for them, in terms of matchups and in terms of fight that has been built up and brewing for about 3 or 4 or 5 years now, doesn't happen. I think it definitely is a stain on their legacy, regardless of what they do outside of not fighting one another. But aside from that, everything else, that was asked was, like I said, about the willingness to make the fight, what went wrong, things like that. A lot of stuff's already been talked about ad nauseum. A lot of things already been heard over and over and over in other interviews and then Terence Crawford's live stream. But at the end of the day, I feel like my biggest takeaway is that there's a willingness on the side of Terence Crawford that he speaks of still wanting to pursue the fight and still wanting to make the fight. And I've heard the same thing from Errol Spence Jr. that he hasn't abandoned the fight. I think his words were he's gonna circle the block, come back to Terence Crawford. So with that being said, I'm still hopeful that we get the fight, but like I said, I'm not obsessing about it. I'm not gonna sit here and just go on and on about the fight every day and talk about it every day. And I'm not going to come out here and make countless videos every time Terence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. farts or makes a post on social media or anything like that. And, because boxing is just, like I said in another video, boxing is so much bigger than what's going on with the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. saga. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go too deep into that, not in this video. But that's all I got on it. D-Lo 404 Boxing. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.